What up? Wade here. Welcome to the 3 questions, 3 answers, all under 3 minutes apiece. I'm going to answer your questions. We compiled all these off of the Facebook fan page, so thanks for those. Feel free at the bottom of this video, throw in more comments and questions, and we'll answer those in future ones. And I also have priority set for our private Facebook group for the Syndicate guys. They asked a bunch of questions, so get into some of those as well. And I think this is going to be a really fun segment. I have my assistant here, and what he's going to be doing is reading these questions off. I've never heard them before, and let's jump into it.
Question 1, Milar asks, what is the biggest risk you've taken and why?
The biggest risk. So I could kind of think of a few of them. Probably the biggest one, if I think about, I've said many times that I'm from Wisconsin and was raised there, never left Wisconsin until I was 24, 25, and investing pretty much 4 or 5 years of college, as well as 2 to 3 years of my master's program. I think in total it was about 7 years. And coming out of that, having a few job opportunities, not in the cities that I wanted to, instead completely throwing that all away and about $70,000 of student loans to go travel around the world and meet girls in random nightclubs and teach dating advice. That was a pretty big risk to throw all that sort of predictable job security away. But I think even bigger than that really was when I finally decided to say, okay, I'm gonna fully commit, draw the line in the sand, and I'm doing my own business here. Before I thought I was an entrepreneur, but it just takes things to a completely different level when you're running things and you have the responsibility of employees and you gotta pay payroll and all that stuff. And just the fact of all the stress that I've had to deal with because of, I've had more stress, much more now than I ever had. And I think that is a byproduct of the extra responsibility and the extra risk. Because there's times when you never know, there's no proven answer there. And definitely there's times where I'm thinking, what would I do if this didn't work out? I have no sort of job, it's gonna be pretty easy for me to find a job, but am I gonna be happy there at all? I don't really know. So that one I would say definitely is the biggest risk, is starting a business and just fully committing to that.
How do you balance work and play?
How do you balance work and play? I think I probably, if there was a spectrum between immersion and living a proper work-life balance, I'm definitely always on the more immersive side of things, whether that be any skill set that I've had. I've thought to myself, okay, blue-collar work ethic, I'm gonna make it happen and really push myself there. And the way I'm gonna get there the fastest, the way I have the success the fastest, is fully immerse myself and block everything else off. And at times of me doing that in my past, for sure that's actually led to neglecting certain areas of my life way more than I wish I would have. If I think about back when I was traveling, doing the dating coaching stuff, I definitely neglected a lot of friendships because I was out on the road and running around nightclubs, having different time zones. At the time, texts were like 50 cents. This makes me feel old or something compared to smartphone days here. And because of all those different things, the friendships went away. My health definitely deteriorated from different time zones and all that stuff. And financially, I was basically just, even though I was getting paid really well, living paycheck to paycheck, because I was living the jet setter lifestyle where let's go do a trip. Oh, I want to upgrade to first class and all this stuff. And get steaks every day, basically, in places like Sweden and Paris and all these random cities where I shouldn't have been doing that. I should have been reinvesting back into my business and training and myself and everything like that. So with that, I guess there was a lot of play because I was running around and having fun, socializing. There was a lot of self-growth there, but it's just immersive into this one skill set of me growing there, but the rest of my life was completely in shambles. And then when I started the business, it's kind of inevitable that you're gonna need a period of immersion. One of my favorite quotes is an anonymous quote, so I'm gonna butcher it, but it's something like, an entrepreneur lives a certain way for a few years so that he can live the rest of his life the way most people can't. So basically, he's willing to sacrifice a few years of his life to really invest and push all the friends aside. I mean, it's kind of sucked at times when I was talking to my girlfriend and saying, hey, for a little while here, we're not going to be able to go out to dinner. We're going to have to make dinners. And I thought that'd be an awkward conversation. She was super supportive. Other awkward conversations of turning down trips with friends, especially me now that I'm in my 30s, all my friends are doing really well, of saying, okay, no, at the time I really couldn't do that stuff because I was growing the business. And so now when things happen, I can fully be like, yeah, let's do whatever, let's dive in, and having that freedom that comes from really putting in the groundwork. So I would say there has to be that period of immersion. And then once you reach a certain level, the way that I always looked at it, it's like spinning plates. I got about 30 seconds left here. Spinning plates of the different sort of areas of your life, your health, your business, your relationships, your friends and everything. And then you see which one is wobbling and where this one's at like a 3 or 4 on a scale of 1 to 10. This one's at a 7 or 8. Okay, that one's spinning pretty well. Let's go over here, build that one up. And slowly after you do that long enough, a true proper work-life balance is when all the plates are spinning really fast. But that's not something you do every day. You don't call your mom, you don't go to the gym, you don't work on your business for 12 hours, hang out with your friends all in one day. It's more like a long-term perspective. So I like looking in quarterly. And so every quarter, I think your top priorities shift. And then through that, you can keep that balance there.
Question 3, Charlie asks, any insight you could share from getting your first 1,000 followers or any further educational resources you could recommend would be awesome.
Cool, getting my first 1,000 followers. So the first time I did this was on a blog, then I did it with YouTube videos, and then with 3 Impact, it was through email first. Actually, no, it was Instagram we did first, and then it was through email after that. So what I would say is find the platform that you think works best with your lifestyle, something that's sustainable, something that I haven't done lately, but I'm getting back to, is where you can have that consistency. You want to be posting once a week. I mean, I did a video every Thursday on YouTube for about 4 years straight, maybe 5 years straight. So that's what led to that huge following where I had like 35, 40,000 subscribers at one point. And so think about consistency, can think about sustainability. And I think another part of this question, I actually saw this on Facebook, was he was asking about, I did like 80, 90 videos and I only have 8 subscribers so far, is you can't wait for organic growth. There's gonna be some level of that, but you have to think about how you either pay to get growth, paid advertising, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google search traffic, stuff like that. Yeah, you have SEO-based, organic-based traffic coming that way. But just you putting videos out there, even if you have the perfect titles and your keywords and stuff like that, you have no engagement, so no one's gonna come see your stuff. The second thing that I think people do wrong a lot of the time is they rely on friends and family, and they have this sort of, it's almost like a Ponzi scheme where they think they have all these followers, but these are not customers. You want the people that are giving you the feedback, the market research. It comes from people that raise their hand and pull out their wallet, and those are the one that you want to direct the sort of content that you're putting out there. If you put out 100 videos and you haven't gotten any feedback, you don't know if those are good or not. You're sitting there, it's like armchair theorizing, thinking, this is the next thing I should talk about. This is the next thing I should talk about. It needs to come from actual feedback. For me, the stuff I'm saying right now, this is advice that I learned myself, but I've given it probably a few dozen times now to guys, seen it work, and then, hey, now I can throw it out there. So what I would suggest is a lot of times, even before you really become this huge content creator where you're prolifically putting videos out all the time, is get some people one-on-one. I feel that people think that internet marketing, it's almost like this sort of digital ATM machine where they can just do the perfect algorithm. They never have to talk to someone, and all of a sudden money starts coming in and they get subscribers and they just, money's just coming into their bank account. Instead, you need to get that market research so you know what the right type of videos are to create, and that only comes from working with someone, whether that be free consulting over Skype, one-on-one, go to meetups, find forums. I think that's another great way, or Facebook groups where there's people asking these sort of questions. You can start building your name, building an authority, and then when you say, hey, check out this video of an answer that I created for you, all of a sudden you get 100 people or 1,000 people checking out that video instead of 2. So that's how I would say get it started, and that's all that we got here. Time's up. So I guess, yeah, this is the first 3 for 3 for 3. Put your comments below, ask any questions, and we'll get to them in future videos. Thanks for watching. As always, enjoy.